We are Casey and Savannah, and we've been best friends for over 11 years. 1 year ago, we left the city to live off-grid and start our journey to a more self-sufficient life. We bought 5 acres of raw land and have been building our homestead ever since. Follow along as we head into year 2 of building an off-grid homestead from the ground up.
Someone sent us this. This was on our homestead wish list. It is a emergency radio. Right, it tells you like the weather and all kind of things.
It's good for storms and stuff.
Just good because we really don't have. Well, we don't have any local news. We need to get a little antenna, you know, just for like local news and whatnot. But anyway, thank you for whoever sent this.
We are back in the bathroom. Continuing the project, we're gonna work on prepping the floor. So the little crease where the the wall meets the plywood, we're going to silicone all the way around the whole thing and also down the middle here. I don't think there are any holes we have to worry about because this was new when we put it in. Okay, so we've decided Casey's gonna work on siliconing. I'm gonna start working on installing the threshold so that we have an actual seal from the doorway from the outside to the inside. Oh my. Oh my. It's much nicer. Alright, Casey's got her socks on. Seems like
Primer tea.
Yep. Good. The way it like slings it back.
I know.
So in between working on the floor in the bathroom, I was working on our little island countertop. This is wood that was milled from a tree that was cut down in our backyard. So I was just working on hand planing these pieces on all sides, on the like tops and the sides, to try to put them together. And when I was done with that, Casey did all the sanding and it's finally made it inside. It's obviously dark outside, so she was sanding in the dark. But I'm about to put on the polyurethane. We'll have just enough time to get the 3 coats of polyurethane on tonight, and then we'll wait 24 hours before we can use it. And it's gonna be much nicer because before this, we had this wood on here and it had dried. So it had like a space about this much in between each piece of wood. Now that space is gone. So it's starting to look really nice. It'll be really great when the polyurethane is on here because it's so much easier to clean that way. And it's not perfect, but the wood just isn't perfect, you know? We're gonna be very excited to have this. And it looks really nice. If you're really like a perfectionist, this would not be the route for you. But this is wood that came from the backyard, so pretty proud of it. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like with the polyurethane on it. we're getting ready to go outside to work on the bathhouse again. But I just wanted to show you the countertop that we finished last night. It's amazing. We love it. And that's basically it. We still have to paint the whole cabinet base, but for now we have a little bit of an overhang, and we got these chairs. Those were a birthday gift for Casey. So now we have a place to sit, like at a table instead of at our couch. I don't know if you remember the clip of Casey eating on her couch, but we're so happy with the results. This is our wood. Also, this was hand planed with a hand planer. I hand planed it, so it's definitely not perfection. If you run your hand across it, you can kind of feel some ups and downs, but it looks amazing, and it's going to be very durable, but it was a lot of work. Happy to have it though. One day we hope to get a wood planer like the ones that you just feed the wood through, but for now we have the hand planer, much more affordable price, and it's good for just like a little project like this. He's always right there.
That'll cut that open. It's open. Yeah, it was like waist down. You need to mix a little bit first.
Yeah. You're supposed to pick it up, but as we know, just need to pour some out first. Alright.
You're definitely not going to need 5 bags.
I know. Alright, the underlayment is poured. It was a wild ride.
It didn't take that long, but it was just kind of annoying mixing concrete stuff.
Yeah, and having
What's
to...
happening here?
I know, it was wild. And we just got a bunch of buckets of water from our water up there. So now we need to clean everything out before it dries. But it really took like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe.
What? And so today's Sunday, so we're probably going to lay tile Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Because the weather will be...
Yeah, because it's going to be supposed to be in the 60s on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to be, hopefully, everything is good and it's going to cure by then.
When
Should.
this tiling job is done, man, it's just this thing that has been looming over our head, and we've been putting it off. And honestly, so far, it hasn't really been as bad as I thought, but we haven't started cutting tile yet. And we did choose hexagon, so for people who've never laid tile, that probably wasn't necessarily a smart move. But anyway, TBD.
The tile we bought was on super sale because they were like getting rid of it. We liked the hexagon shape, and the color is really neutral, which is honestly not usually our vibe, but the price you just couldn't beat it. So we've had it for a very long time, but getting the tile down will mean a lot of other things can be done. So I think it's going to be kind of like a domino effect when we get the tile done. We're just going to be like project.
Bathroom project.
Bathroom projects, yes. So these are really cool to me. These overalls are from Duluth. Casey and I both have a lot of overalls from there. But you can buy these knee pads, and I bought these when I bought my first pair of overalls. I've never used them, but it's tile day, so we're gonna use them today. And they just like, these have a little, excuse me. This is like a double layer, it's like reinforced so that when you're gardening stuff, there's not getting holes very easily, but you can also put these in there. Okay, there we go. So I'll put them both in here. You won't even notice that I have knee pads on, but I will. And they're nice. This is not sponsored by Duluth, but contact us if you want to sponsor us, Duluth. We love Duluth.
All right, so we're currently contemplating the tile design. We both kind of like this better, but honestly not strongly. And let me show you the other way.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of the direction. Like, is it gonna lay point to point this way, or is it gonna be flat this way?
And this would be the other way.
This will be easier starting out because you would just be cutting, like the cutting would be easier.
I think I don't want it to be, I think I want it to be like that.
Like a line, a hexagon. I think I do too.
Not just like a bunch of a straight.
Yeah. I think so too. All
Okay. All right. So this is the way we're going with.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of geometry and math involved with laying tile. The video Savannah watched this morning said to draw a lot of lines. She's very good at math, so through line drawing. So Savannah's having to redraw all the lines that she just did because we discovered we don't have a wet saw. We weren't going to buy a wet saw, and then renting one, even though it's not that expensive, it's like 45 minutes away. So to just like go there, pick it up, bring it back, it's just a hassle. So the space is not that big, so we're like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But let me show you what we discovered. So we're just using one of these. It's not too bad. If you had to do like a huge space, I think it would be terrible. But the first way, we have to cut down this like pointed edge to pointed edge. And what we discovered is that it's really hard to get this to break right when you do that. For example, can you see how that little edge didn't get like cut right? And so we were like, well, if we do it the other way, we'll be cutting from here to here instead of from here to here. So now she's got to redraw all of her lines.
The tile pieces that we first cut from corner to corner, we'll still have to do that when we get to the sides, but the thing is, right here in the front, we want to be the perfect area. So we don't want these kind of janky tiles up here, whereas on the sides, there's going to be a sink here and laundry and just things that will basically cover this up. So we'll still use these, but these cuts that we did from like edge to edge instead of corner to corner were it was way better.
It's about to go down.
Never tiled in my whole entire life. Here we go.
Here goes.
I've watched a lot of videos.
So many tile videos.
Already got it on me. Let me just start out. First thing. The heck.
share with us your thoughts on your first few minutes of tiling.
So far seems fine. I mean, I can already tell that some things aren't like perfectly, like the line that we're doing is square, but it's not necessarily perfectly square with the edge, but it's not that bad.
Because you think the building may not be perfectly square.
The building might not be perfectly square, even though we built it and tried to make it perfectly square. But so far, I've only done this much, so we'll see what happens when I, get a bunch done and how I feel about that.
If you're wondering what me, as the helper and emotional support tile person, feels about tiling, makes me very anxious. Yeah, it's like, it seems very particular, and Savannah is like, I am a perfectionist to a fault. Like, I just won't do something. It paralyzes me. And Savannah is like, it's better for it to be done. It doesn't have to be like so perfect. And that can sometimes be problematic for the way we work together. But, it always looks good. But anyway. So it's pretty particular. To give myself a little more credit, I am the tile cutter, which is a high stress job as well. So I am not doing nothing. Tile update. And basically the mortar is similar to the color grout we're gonna use. White ain't gonna cut it.
No. Did we ever have white grout?
Just in our subway tiles.
Yes, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
Never, not ever again.
Yeah. It looks so nice.
Alright. We have mortar that is dry. And it actually started raining when we were doing the second half of the tiling, and that caused a lot of problems. So Casey was kind of trying to keep all the tiles dry, and then she had to go inside because there was just no room for both of us to be in here. And we were having problems at that same time with our score wheel was just not scoring anymore. So when we went to break the tiles, they were breaking in not the right spots. So we went to our neighbor's house. We got a tool that they had, but it also wasn't exactly doing what we wanted. But it was also raining, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna put down all the tiles that I can put down that are full tiles, and then we'll just leave everything that needs to be cut for another day. And then the next day, it was way too cold to lay tile. Today, it's warm enough. It's like a chance of rain right now. So basically, I need to fill in all these spots, and some places there's like mortar that needs to be taken off somehow, so that's going to be fun. This is where the toilet like drain hole is going to be, so those are special cuts, which is why they're not on there yet. And the mortar, we tried to save it because some people said you could try to save it for like 3 days, but it's too hard. It's not fully hardened like this stuff, but it's just too hard to use, so we're gonna have to mix a new batch. And I do hear that it is sprinkling right now, so that's fun. So what I'm gonna do right now is just try to cut the tiles with the new stuff that we got and get all the special pieces cut, and then I'll worry about getting all the mortar off, and then I'll worry about mixing new mortar. And if it's raining too much, then we might have to put this off again.
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper. Would it make any difference? Would it change for the better if I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter?
Day 2 laying tiles.
Is it maybe because I never knew quite where I was, and suddenly you told me, baby, you're lost, but I am too. Whatever the cost, we'll make it through. Tell me you're the one, you're the one.
There she is. Pre-grout. So pretty. Yes, there will be insulation and walls. We do things weird around here, okay? And that hole is the toilet hole. It's gonna satisfying.
Can be used in both directions.
Never laid tile, but I have grouted once before. With my mother, which is a shocking thing if you knew my mother. But I don't remember it being, I don't know. We didn't know what we were doing, but it turned out okay. Look, you're using a lot less than I am.
I know, I can see this. Let me show. This is a section that I've done, and Casey just started on this tile. This is a very good explanation of her personalities.
Here, just in the mortar. I mean in the grout.
Just in the grout.
I was really kind of like nervous, not nervous, but just like didn't know what grout color to pick. We actually really aren't big gray fans. I know the tile
Would make you think differently.
yeah, but it's kind of like a warm gray.
Grayish, if you
It's,
will.
yeah, it's gray. Yeah, I think it's actually called grayish. But anyway, but we just didn't know like the grout, like, oh gosh, what color, because white, keeping white grout clean, as you know, is like a nightmare. But I was afraid that this gray grout was gonna make this tile look even more gray. But I think it's gonna look good.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna dry darker than this and might look like more in between like this darkness and that. We'll see though. This is a better view of the amount Casey's using and the amount I'm using.
That was a lot. I'll spread it around. Everybody calm down.
It is 4:45. Sun has already set. We've had to put some lights in here. Casey is getting a headlamp with new batteries for me because you cannot see anything. All right, I have my headlamp. Oh gosh, the doorknob on this door is basically falling off, but we ordered a new one. Oh, sky looks really nice. Okay, anyway, I have done like half of the grout, but it's already starting to dry, so I'm gonna go around and clean it up before I do the second half. And it's really cold, so I'm sure my hands are gonna be freezing, but we basically are in such a hurry to get this done right on time because of where we have, you know, our toilet is now in the chicken tractor and it's so muddy in there. And other than that, it's fine, but it's so muddy and we've just got to get it out of there. It's supposed to rain for maybe 5 days in a row this coming week, so we've got to get that back in here. And as soon as it's done, we will be having our washer and dryer in here, and it's time to do laundry, so this is an emergency.
So that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Overall, tiling was not nearly as bad as we expected. Savannah did all the hard work of, like, you know, it's really just like getting your lines down and then laying everything down in those lines in the right spot. We were both a little worried about our first tiling project being like hexagon tile, but it really wasn't that bad. Of course, our spot is like, you know, on the outside, 64 square feet, so it's actually smaller than that on the inside. So, you know, I can understand if you were doing like a big area that it would be kind of like a little annoying. Honestly, cutting the tiles, if that would have gone more smoothly, if we had like a tile saw, we could have gotten this done like days ago. But because we had to go and stop and buy the new blade, that kind of slowed things down. But overall, very happy with the end result. I can't wait to get walls up and for this place to look like a real bathroom.